is that on my site, we have turned one podcast into a 5-day lesson plan for the week. It is such a great way to front load information for our emergent bilingual students and use it during designated ELD. We develop a language objective and we hone in on those skills that those students need, and they are scaffolded to meet the exact level that they're at, whether they're emergent or whether they're emerging, expanding, or bridging. And it builds so much of their background knowledge that when we do go into the core and we are asking all of our students to collaborate and speak and talk, it gives them so much more confidence because they've had that front loading.
Yeah, and do you think how does the podcasting help with that, of the listening to the authentically spoken language? And do you think it plays a more important role in so much asynchronous, remote learning?
I do. I think that one thing that we know, at least our data shows us here in California, is that our students do not perform well on state assessments. And when they have to listen, even our LPAC, they have to listen to authentic conversations or a presenter presenting information and how they take that in, they don't perform well on that. And so this is practice with real life stories, with real life people that they're getting to listen to. I will tell you something that happened the other day, and it blew my mind. I was working with a 5th grade group, 6 students, and we were using Listenwise, and we had done this whole unit about Molly Brown. We were talking about women's right to vote, and Molly Brown was part of it because she ran for senator before women could even vote in Colorado. And she was very popular, and most people only think about her from the Titanic, but we were talking about all the different things she did. And one of the Listenwise podcasts that we listened to was on NPR, and it was about the 19th Amendment, and they were celebrating the 19th Amendment. And the original, the interviewer had a woman on, and he was talking to her, and he said, the 19th Amendment is the 100th anniversary of when we granted women the right to vote. And she said, you didn't grant us anything. Don't tell me, women weren't granted. We were already protected under the Constitution. It was just upheld. And she was like kind of feisty. And one of my students said, you know what, if Molly Brown was on that, because they had said she was like feisty, she was a wisecracker. And she said, if Molly Brown would have been on that podcast, she would have said the same thing. She would have been mad that a man said that to her.
That's great. Yeah, they were in. Yeah, I'm so impressed that they understood that and caught that and like had that.
I was so impressed.
Yeah, because the reporter. Yeah, it was the reporter reacting and saying, no, we weren't granted. We already had it.
Yep. And they made that connection. And for me, the teacher, we're always trying to figure out how to assess what our kids are learning and what are they understanding those essential questions and those standards. I thought it was really awesome that she made that connection.
That's amazing. What a great story.
So the other things that I love about Listenwise for our emergent bilingual students is all of the scaffold and supports and resources that are already embedded. So I loved the closed captions. I love that they can follow along on transcripts, which we do close reads with transcripts all the time with our students. I love the additional material like the videos or the graphics or the paired text to make those connections. I love that we can customize questions, because as we're doing our thematic unit, we can add our own questions, but seeing if they are making those connections across curriculum. And then of course, the graphic organizers, and here at our site, we also use them for small group instruction with our struggling students.